Day 53. I don't think I have specific ideas about the 2 new books I got, but I did go through and try to develop more of a to-do list because I just always want to have more than one thing I'm working towards, and we kind of resolved one of them. So my current main goal, the primary objective, is to do the chess puzzle again so that I can switch it from the king to the rook, which will hopefully count as castling, and that must mean what they meant when they have the castle clue in the room. And I don't know, maybe at that point I'm charitably hoping that when I do a castle, maybe then I'll have some kind of room or clue open up that can contextualize the castle clue, because it's castle, but it's written vertically with blanks. And so there's 2 more letters after each one, presumably. Or some indication to move to the left, or... I don't know what it means. I would assume when you see blanks like that, underlines, you would assume it means more letters. So I'm hoping for more context for that, because I have no idea what to do with castle. Banner of the king. Choose a color. To choose them here? Oh, I do. You choose the banner of the king here. That's interesting. What do I want to do? Let's go over the rest of the stuff I was going to talk about first. I didn't really get into the fact that it's here. But yeah, I don't know what that clue means besides castle. It's in a room with chess stuff and it says castle, and I'm like, okay. Sometimes people call the rook the castle because it looks like a castle, but and it kind of is, but it's like a crenulated wall corner, kind of. It's a tower. It's probably a tower, actually. So it's not especially castle-y, ultimately. It's just a child's idea of what a castle looks like, but it's called a rook. But there is a term in chess called castling, and that's when you swap the 2 pieces. It's one of the weird moves that I learned as an adult eventually, but was not part of me learning the game originally back when I actually played it as a kid. Didn't even know that was in the game. But that's an abstract goal, and I could fail multiple days trying to do that, and I want to have more goals going, obviously. That's what I always am trying to have rolling, and that was easy in the early game when you just had a lot of loose ends right in front of your eyes all the time, but increasingly, you really have to, like, carefully document and note everything and try to even articulate what might be left to investigate, because none of the stuff that is left to do is, like, in front of your eyes anymore. You have to, like, remember weird connections or still need to piece them together. So I'm increasingly doing some more me time between each session where I try to figure out another goal, because I don't want to just be trying to brute force one solution over and over again. Not literally brute forcing it, but just, you know, going for one thing over and over again and then just doing failed runs there inefficiently. I always want to have more things I could be working towards. So last time we talked about taking the crown to the throne room. I need to have a throne room in the run, and then I need to also make it to the antechamber at the end. That's important. Past the antechamber into the next room, although that's often getting into the antechamber is harder than opening the doors at this point. Oh yeah, I wrote down planetarium telescope, because we started getting the telescope lately, which is curious. Before I do the Banner of the King, actually, let's see what kind of outdoor room I get, because that could contextualize what kind of stuff I could do. I also might want to look into achievements, just because I'm curious if there's anything going on with that stuff. The fact that the achievements are a checklist, it's one thing if there was the trophy room that happens to keep track of your achievements, or they just were a background element, but a puzzle game this weird might do something with achievements beyond just them being achievements. Your reward for getting all the achievements is that you get a blue tent from the store, or the ability to buy the blue tent, which might do something more than it's saying it is, because it's this game. But what really, besides the blue tent thing, what really makes me interested in the achievement things kind of is the fact that, like, there is a checklist in the first room. Like, that... It's not that weird for an achievement list, but I'm like, you could just put them in, like, the escape menu or some other thing forgettable. The fact that it's confronted, you could kind of confront it as a physical object in the first room constantly makes me wonder if the achievements might have more meaning than just being achievements, which wouldn't be that surprising overall. And yeah, like the planetarium, is an underwhelming room I don't like. It just gives you 2 more stars, which we do have value for right now. So I want to draw the planetarium regardless, because I just used up a bunch of my stars, and we're trying to do the chess puzzle again. So, and also just in general, having a lot of stars does help let you randomize more times. So the planetarium is getting an increased value from the fact that we now know that past 50 stars or at 50 stars, you get the ability to re-randomize your room layouts. But if you go below 50 stars, you then can't do it again. Which sucks, obviously. So I just did the chess puzzle last time, but now I can't do it again as easily because my giant pool of randomization was spent, and it is expensive to refill it. So the Morning Star plus the planetarium plus my 2 observatories means I could get 5 stars per day without even using the mirror room. Except I've lost the Morning Star because I am doing the chess puzzle right now, so we've lost the armory, which I would like to get back after this if I can get through this thing and it all wraps up. But since the telescope does something in the observatory, I wonder if it does something in the planetarium. So I took a moment to write that down as a note to be like, that might be a thing, actually. Do I care about the trading post? I don't know what I'd be trading for specifically. It's a chance to trade shittier things for other things that might be interesting, like maybe the lever I might need to open a lever, or maybe the telescope or something. It's a chance to re-randomize, but I also don't love this item because you have to go outside to use it. Maybe it's just a flaw in my reasoning. Let's get rid of the thread rooms, because I know that I won't have... I know that I'm not going to have a Morning Star this run. Not a morning. I'm not going to have a shield this run because the armory is gone. So I can't resist a red room, and this lets me resist 3 red rooms, but I unfortunately don't get to choose which ones. It's just the first 3 I draw. I choose them in that I still get to choose them in that I do place them manually, and could choose not to draw the red rooms. How many of these do I have now? Because I'm getting more of them. So fill an entire room... 40 parlor games, 8 realm sigils, solve the room 8 rank 8 puzzle, and then reach room 46. Those are I was about to say they're relatively easy, but the 8 realm sigils was a big goal. This is interesting because it says room 8 on rank 8, so it's kind of a clue about how to find room 8. It doesn't have to be. I think I read this at the time having not done room 8 yet, because I think I had like no achievements when I did this, or maybe had the full room. Well, I definitely had room 46 by the time I got the trophy list. I think that's the one you have to have. That's when you get the trophies, I think. I do think I saw that at the time and thought, that's just an extra challenge. Like, oh, I'm still trying to figure out room 8, but like, oh, there's an extra bonus if you do room 8 on rank 8. But even being pointed in that direction might tell you to do that. I am worried about the idea of these trophies doing something, just because it might mean that you have to do dare mode and curse mode too, and room 46 on one day, and room 46 in under an hour. Okay, under an hour might mean... Reaching room 46 in under an hour might mean on a given run of your normal playthrough. So that's not that crazy. In fact, reaching it in under an hour is not that hard. If you have the... All you have to do is successfully draft any path to the end room, and then maybe have the lab experiment running so that it opens up all the doors via RNG. But even then, just... being able to, given that the back door is always underground and that's easy to get to, it would be relatively easy to reach room 46 in under an hour at this point in the playthrough. Ace the classroom final exam. Do they mean 100%? Without even getting results that tell you how well you did? You get a score, we don't get like results about what was right and what was wrong. Woof. Buy the entire showroom isn't that unreasonable. I almost did it, but I did unfortunately waste the piggy bank and not get to spend it, which sucks. All 8 workshop contraptions. Okay, so there are 8. That makes sense because there's like always 8 of everything, basically. I think I've made 6. I don't know what's left. Win the drafting strategy sweepstakes. I don't remember what the sweepstakes is. Huh. Do I have... I accidentally closed my blueprints folder, damn it. Desktop. Blueprints. Books. Fixed stars, gardener's logbook, blah, 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 blah. Oh no. Yeah, I probably thought I didn't need to document these in their entirety. But now I'm wishing that I had... I mean, I'm gonna have to go back through my stuff again. I need to screenshot every page of the drafting strategies books. Because, one, we did solve a clue recently by finding the angels that were hidden among the pages. So we now know that they hid some secrets there for some reasons at some times. But the drafting strategy sweepstakes, like I don't remember what the sweepstakes is. I could definitely start renting them again just for the sake of it, I guess. Either way, that would make it somewhat easier for me. But you can only rent some of them. Where are the other drafting strategies books? Let's see, complete the Mount Holly directory. That just means get every room, right? Wow. I'm missing one. Okay, well that'll happen at some point. 15 more dartboard puzzles. Oh, 7 out of 8 contraptions. Okay. I need to find one missing contraption, one missing room, do 15 more dartboard puzzles. That's going to be a bit longer. This chunk of 4 is scary. The insane challenge mode stuff. This one's reasonable. That, I don't know about that one, man. If the exam is the same every time, maybe I can, like, actually cheat and just research the answers in my free time without a time limit, and then just know what all the answers will be in advance. I can just solve the entire... That might be it. If they're saying ace the whole thing, that seems kind of unreasonable, so maybe they mean that the puzzle... that the exam is the same every time, in which case, maybe you can just look through what the exam was last time, answer all the questions without a time limit, by just actually looking everything up throughout the game and figuring it all out, then go back in and just put your answers without any stress. Anyway, let's actually start the run. This will not be my 1 hour run, if you couldn't tell. Spending gems to redraft rooms would be nice. Getting this study would be nice. Wait. Oh, I mixed this room up with something else. It does do that, though. Study, blah, blah, blah. Get new artwork for all the rooms. Oh, hey. The magnifying glass. Speaking of items that can blend... I don't know what I'm saying speaking of. I wasn't speaking of this, but... I just have been speaking of it throughout the playthrough. December 8th. I was speaking about, like, it really gets me how some of the item placements really blend in with the environment because they just look like they belong there, and that would make me... That's probably so many of the times where I've just missed the item altogether because it just looked normal. Okay. The reason I drafted this room was wrong. I mixed it up with the other similar rooms that are about drafting. I was hoping that one of the drafting books would be in here so I could document it for my notes. I don't remember which ones have it. I know the one that where you get a new... The one where you get a new room added to your deck. I know that one has a book. I don't remember what the other book is, and then 3 of them are in the library, I believe. I really wish that you could just keep your books that you've rented so far and just have them all laid out on the table. Oh well. Turn this up a little bit. I want to hear more noises. That's a bad observatory. I do not summon the mailroom very often. These are not helpful. Maybe I can salvage it. I really want to be able to hit the foundation and go around. The fixed stars is already documented in my notes. Diamond key. Ooh, 4-way thingy. What's this one? That's the slice. Apple, and then the twins. Ooh, some chests. Let's get the hammer then. Do I want the four-way thingy? If I'm thinking planetariums and throne rooms and stuff, none of those are very that. And none of the rooms I'm trying to summon to get chess pieces are four-way rooms either, I don't think. So many dead ends, Jesus. Workshop would be really nice, but let's redraw. I have a fair number of gems. There we go. I just really like the opportunity to go north. Before I get in trouble here and never make it to the foundation, and this becomes a very short run. I almost did 0303, and I'm like, wait a minute. Wrong room. But yeah, it would be distinctly... I'm not totally opposed to doing the silly challenge runs. In part because people are watching the series, so it's like, sure, let's make more content for the series, I don't mind. There is like a warm blanket effect that happens as a Let's Player when you're like, oh, everyone's watching this playthrough. let's do it for 1,000 episodes. I don't care. But it does distinctly feel... God. Can you please give me the conservatory? It's rude. It does distinctly feel like a roguelike thing to do if you're going to make a puzzle game music gone. Why'd the music go? Oh, hello. There we go. Planetarium's a dead end. Other things, I think I do want to summon more dead ends if I can. I think that is good for this run, as long as it doesn't kill me. And having rerolls might help me avoid it killing me. There's a thing to be said about like how this is a genre blending game, but like you would want to eventually, at some point, you'd want to lean in on it being a roguelike in certain ways, so it doesn't feel like it's just almost, so it doesn't feel like it's ashamed of its own genre or whatever. And so like having absurd little, there's the planetarium. The commissary though. Bad use of doors though. Sure, let's spawn it. If I can't test it yet. I am curious about bringing the thing in here. New constellation spot on the 50th. I'm curious about bringing the telescope in here just because it is distinctly a weird little room where you don't get to do anything. This explains the first 25 days, and then it says that some special milestones will happen eventually. But like, you distinctly don't get to do anything in this room. It's a weird feeling. Especially when it's like what, at least in my case, was a late game unlock, given that it's a non-linear thing that you get from the other thing. I'm just like, what's its deal? But yeah, having to do some little challenge runs is suitable to the genre, and so it's not that weird that they would maybe have you do some dickish trial and error, go again, challenges trying to get through there. Not great. This is a dead end for me, so I should use the free redraw and hope for anything more open than that. I did not get anything more open than that. I could use the secret passage to draw a hallway, but the hallway may not be very good for my layouts. And what's this thing's deal? Door? Why'd you spell door like that, silly? Aquarium or hallway. This counts as every room type. Let's do hallway. Also, I forgot. Damn it. I was thinking about making this summon more bedrooms, because I want to draw her ladyships. And also just bedrooms are helpful in general. But yeah, in my decision making just now, I was like, oh yeah, don't pick the aquarium because that's a helpful room, and I'm making bedrooms spawn more, so it counts as a bedroom, so it'll probably spawn for that. Then I remembered I had not actually chosen that effect yet. I just thought about it earlier, but then wanted to review what the game gave me for my options for an outside room first, and then pick based on that. Okay, so I just got a couple more keys from those two rooms. That's helpful. It's a south-facing room, so we're really hoping for her ladyship here. The Geist bedroom would be nice. Then I have to recreate the environment again. I really want it. I'll draw it more though, because I made the bedroom common. Please give me her ladyship, dude. I don't want to completely run out of gems. I'll go for the wine cellar to get more gems and get one of the dead ends out of the way, at least in this dead end spot. There, I refilled what I just lost. All right, just gonna have to hope for the best. And that should be on my page. That actually tells me them. What's the other queen again? Wait. No. I just remember. Yeah. I actually remembered before I reached the page. The study has a queen in it. Dumbass. So I basically just need to spawn the office and then a mix of normal rooms, or, you know, I'll make sure. I'll double check what I'm missing and see if I can spawn whatever's missing at that point, but the office and the study is a reasonable way of getting both of them. So getting the study immediately was actually great. If I was smarter, I would retroactively take credit for I would take credit for it instead of admitting to, that I'm a fool. Because I did want the study really badly because it has the queen in it. That's the other queen room out of that I have 2 king and 2 queen rooms documented. There's probably more, but those are the main ones that come to mind. I want this dice, but I don't want to keep turning left. This layout sucks. Damn it. Please, is the game gonna be this relentless? I mean, at least this turns right, I guess. This isn't going great. Picking more bedrooms and more dead ends, is admittedly leading... Let's see. Bedroom pointing down. Or hand pointing down. Add that to my notes. That's... I'm like, that actually does seem like a thing, right? Because we've literally been under this, building before. There's a whole underground area. So I'm like, what does it mean to have a big, giant hand pointing down? Actually, it's like in her ladyships. We've dug holes in bedrooms before, not this one. I dug a hole in her ladyship's room. So maybe you want to dig a hole in this room? And then there's something there? That's interesting. That's something to think about for later. It's too late now. I guess if I got a treasure map that happened to point there, then I'd get to explore it. But otherwise, I guess the idea is that you do draw treasure maps before you know. They can point to a square you haven't drafted yet. So you could draw a treasure map and then try to put the bedroom on that tile, basically. And that'd be a chance to figure out if you can dig under that particular room to cause something. fascinated by this game. It's ooh, that's a great chance to spread my layout out, thank God. It really struck me. I was watching somebody play the first handful of days, and they're like, haven't reached room 46 yet, and so on, and I'm pretty safely beyond anything they're going to interact with. The only surprises will just come in the form of just seeing them pick different room upgrades and being like, oh, so that's what that room upgrade looks like, because those are just literally not in my run. I'm just not going to see those in my entire playthrough, because I don't think you can ever change them. But it really is startling how different the game is back then, towards the beginning. This could be going better, but the aquarium's like, okay. It's really interesting how different the game used to be when I was starting, and how you can kind of forget that because it's all gradually changing. But like, one of the coolest things about this game is the way that the rooms individually change over time. So many of the rooms have changed over the course of this playthrough that it's easy to forget. We want to play the servants' quarters as late as possible for the keys. It's easy to forget how many of them have changed, both because of the number that you manually upgrade, like this one that became the Geist bedroom, and because of like the weird, like, you solved a puzzle, this room will never be the same type moments that happen throughout the game, which are themselves really cool. And they really add up, so that over the course of the game, there's like so much in play that it's not just about drafting the same rooms over and over again for the sake of it. Like, the game itself keeps shifting around you. I really need a shovel and a sledgehammer. Yeah, let's get some of these dead ends out of the way, because I've encouraged them to be in the game. I did it. The funny thing is I partially did it for... I did get the planetarium, so there's that, but I partially did bedrooms and dead ends to make her ladyship spawn, having forgotten that I already got the study at the beginning, and that already has the queen, so I don't need her ladyship. That's fine, we'll just have a wacky dead-end filled level that I try to survive. Weirdly empty layout. Hello, green key. Just a handful of sad gems and not much else going on in here. There's a bishop in the attic. Do I know that? Do I have attic in here? Ba-da-da-da. I don't think so. There we go, add bishop to that. It's good to have a few options for everything. Anything else to get from this? I believe this is Simon, or that's Simon. My uncle. Or his brother or whatever. Was it Herbert and Simon, I think? I'm trying to remember. But like my ancestors that I would confused with being me. Yeah, because the older and younger brother, and they were having feuds in their notebook and so on. And we know that that wasn't me because they came, it was like they were like coming back from college, like, ha ha ha, my brother and I are going to have a good laugh over this. There's the pendant. We're gonna have a good laugh over the, that's her ladyship with the pendant, yeah. We're gonna have a good laugh over this, this spat we had in this children's journal. Isn't this funny? And, I'm not that old. I'm like 14. So I'm not really there. Oh, missed that one. Not really there yet. It's hard to read, but not a secret. We've now found the censored books. So that's the thing that's going on. I do need to look around in some of these rooms a little bit more, just because I'm worried that they might have, like, more of those weird notes. The weird... I think I have a dedicated page just to this, and it has not developed much. Yeah, D blank O blank, or D new line blank new line O new line OR, door but spelled weird. Then 6 new line or new line 0 or O, 6 or 0 maybe. Just words written in weird formats. Oh wait. Am I missing something? 6 or 0. Okay, let's add a note here. What's it called? Blackbird's Grotto. black bridge note. In fact, I should write down where these each are. 6 or 0, where was that? That was a class work sheet in locker. I think it was in the locker, I'm pretty sure. I'll add a question mark just in case. Then door is behind secret passage. There we go. Let's actually document where these are. And then I wrote black bridge note, and I'll get back to that in a minute. But yeah, like there's a sticky note on the black bridge grotto screens that has itself has like some 1s and 0s in a weird layout, which it stood out, but didn't stand out as being part of this particular thing at the time. My issue being I don't have any inkling as to like where and why these notes happen. I don't know what they mean yet. In a vacuum, I see door, and I think, oh, that series of spaces looks like it might slot into the blanks of castle. Because castle is the word castle written vertically, which is already a weird layout, then 2 blanks to the right, and door could fit in that space. Because it's only 2 wide at the widest, but 6 or 0... the word 6 is 3 wide, so it can't fit into the castle thing. And you also can't rotate it because it's overall written on a 3x3 grid. So I'm like, maybe there's somewhere where you do like 3x3 grids or something. Like, huh! Hello? 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 Okay. Open my image editing software, save. Attic note, I guess I'll call it. Is that in the Black Bridge Grotto, or is that in the security? It's highlighting a specific screen, so I should try to interact with that one, or maybe break it with the sledgehammer or something? Or do some other thing with it? Some tool, maybe? Okay, so there's 3 rows of screens, and then the second from the left. That's probably security. Can I go anything else back here? That's probably security. I think Blackbridge Grotto is too open-ended in its layout. And security is common, so I'm hoping it's security, because I could just I mean, Blackbridge Grotto is pretty common. It's literally always there. I forgot I just picked this up. Yay! Is it that way? It's probably that way. There's usually not an item in this room. There's just dig spots. Give me shovel, please. This game is so my jam in a lot of ways. Awkward use of the master bedroom. I really need to have more. I really want to turn right. Just please. Not really helpful. Dice are helpful, but not if I then just spend them all trying to turn right and so on. Okay. That's a bit better. Yeah, the emphasis on bedrooms and dead ends is really backfiring right now, and I did this to myself. I appreciate this. 90% of the comments on this playthrough are just like, he wants to do this thing, but then he does that thing. Is he stupid? But it's like I have conflicting goals at all times while also having the object permanence moment of having to just make roguelike choices. It's always, you're making micro and macro choices back and forth constantly and trying to hold things in your head all at once while also trying to finish the sentence that you started 30 seconds ago that you're speaking out to your audience, and that's a lot of mental stack. This would suck. It would cut me off from the corner so I can't get the conservatory, and it would just really, it'd make me get fewer items. The extent to which this thing just does not want to give me any branching paths is really messing with me. Damn it. Okay, I'm gonna settle for not getting the corner because I don't want to spend all of my resources here. My supply of gems is more forgiving than it has been in the past, but it's still I can't keep spending it constantly with the study. I will run out of them completely. The gem economy definitely gets more forgiving over time in a way that just lets you get away with so much more, though. Like, now, the subtle ways that these give you... is that a holly leaf, I think? Which is a part of the motif throughout the thing. The one that... specifically, the plant that people mix up with mistletoe, because whenever they talk about mistletoe, oh, I gotta kiss under the mistletoe, they always draw holly leaves instead of mistletoe. Because that's like... it got conflated that way because holly is used a lot for, like, festive... Christmas decorations, so it's kind of the iconic looking Christmas plant, but the iconic plant that gets mentioned a lot is mistletoe for that particular reason, and people just be like, well, it must be the same thing. But no, you deck the halls with something of holly. So, what's the noun of holly? What's the unit of holly? A murder of holly. When do I get to play this fucking... Where's the volume dial on this thing? Is there a... click? No, that's not it. The fact that it looks like it's... actually, I think it isn't... I think the needle's just not down, right? The fact that it's been running continuously for the last 2 months, but I don't get to hear the song that's on it, because it does appear that there's a record on it. Am I deaf? Chamber of Mirrors would be devastating. Every dead end I've drawn would just come back. That would just... this room would be dead. This run would be immediately dead. Let's place the storeroom. Yeah, I glanced at the comments. I mostly try to skip them because they're obviously going to be a minefield for people potentially spoiling things, and I don't want to deal with that. But it's a mix of people being like, he said he wants to do this, then he did that. What, is he stupid? And half of that's fair. But the other parts are people just being like, this is the smart thing to do, and he kind of acknowledged it's a smart thing to do once. Why didn't he do it now? And it's like, okay. People value different things. Even if I know that a thing is smart sometimes, that doesn't mean that I'm always going to value that exact action at all times. That isn't that deep. Let's see. Should I go for it now? We have a lot of steps. I don't usually have a reason to go down here. I'm going to go in and open the back door. One of my goals is to get the throne room and crown together and see if that does something. So I might as well go do this now. For example, one of the we know that it's smart to try to draft the lower ranks first because you want to get rid of a lot of the stuff that gives you supplies, and also, like, if you don't get rid of certain rooms, they really make further layouting kind of difficult. Particularly, like, it's a good chance to get rid of a lot of the dead ends in specific locations in a more controlled way before the game starts giving you more and more of the rooms that seem to spawn more commonly in higher ranks. There's kind of like a thing going on there. But the back and forth that I have is that, like, I rarely get the chance to snake the layout back and forth and efficiently cover the low ranks. It very frequently takes the form of me shooting really deep all at once. And that layout sucks because you then have to run linearly backwards through the 10 rooms you spawned just to go back to the other side to then work on the low rank on the other side, which is why my runs take the form they often do, where I'll shoot up at the one side over here, and then I'm like, fuck. I shouldn't have gone this far deep. Now it takes 10 steps to go all the way back down here, and then 10 steps to go all the way back up. But, like, so we're clear, if I stop halfway through and go back and forth too, unless the two sides actually connect at some point, which rarely happens, I'm not being more efficient by leaving sooner and coming. Like, the most efficient thing is to go all the way to here until you can't go any further, then go all the way back down as far as steps go. If you keep like swing setting back and forth between your left and right wings of the house, because you're trying to do them in rank order instead of depth order, instead of like branch order, you're gonna spend so many more steps running back and forth that many times. And then you die because you ran out of steps. So it's like, I'll get flack for some things, but I'm like, well, I'm just valuing a different element of the risk-reward system here. It's like maybe what I'm doing is more dangerous for my layouts, although honestly I think that I've had a pretty good track record for drafting in general and having relatively complete and full layouts where I do a pretty good job as far as the roguelike element of the game goes. If you go by the arbitrary goal of like drafting a lot of stuff and surviving and so on, overall I think it seems like I do all right with my approach. But like I know that filling the low ranks early is good, but I also know that filling the low ranks often is just not that feasible with how the step economy works, and if I ran back and forth that many times, I would have more runs than I do so far, where I just, like, run out of steps super early and can't do anything about it. There's an irony to the power fantasy of some of this stuff, which is that the further we get into the game, the easier it gets. So even as we get better at stuff, we kind of don't need to be better, because the game also just makes itself easier over time by giving you more gems and giving you more steps and giving you more things that will then put multipliers on the step rewards for your food, and you're like, oh my god, look how many steps we got. Secret garden would be good, but I think we can't do it here. It has to be on the outside flank. But that's a good key to have, because we're struggling to make branching paths at all. Case in point, Jesus. I did this to myself. Bare green room is okay. Was that whole wall green before? When we turned this room green? Did it already go that far? Hiding something back here? Oh, it's over here somewhere. Oh, one little coin. Meat, 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 meat. No. I finally draw a branching path, and it's the dark room. That's my first red room. Oh, wait. I'm immune to this room. Wow, I forgot. Uh-oh, security. New problem. Yeah, I forgot that I have the shelter this run because it's taken this long to spawn a single red room, actually. Well, there was the lavatory. I just didn't want to... I just never want to spawn the lavatory because it's stupid. Didn't I upgrade my lockpick skill by like 20? That happened, right? That was my goal. Yeah, I remember talking about like even if it's 1%. Because I don't know what upgrading it means, but it is permanent. I just don't know what the upgrade math is, or how it's calculated, or what it means in that way. But if it... I was talking about how hypothetically it might be upgrading you it like by 1% of a chance of lockpicking maybe. And if that's the case, then the fact that I increased it by like 22% or something would be a lot of that. I'm going to use the green key, though, because I want to open my branching path here. So now I can go south again. It's going to be really hard to get all the way down there, unfortunately, but... I really like a shovel. It's getting really mean at this point that I don't have a shovel. But yeah, similar people will be like, why don't you use the inventory thing where the security tells you what items exist? And that does have a value, but it also is a bit of a struggle because the knowing an item exists doesn't mean you can find it. So it's like, congratulations, there's keys around the building. Cool. Where are they? You know. Okay, this sucks. Can we agree this sucks? I would like these three to be conjoined in some way. Might be able to save a little bit of time by memorizing what direction the two switches are on, which probably are north and south. But that just means slightly less time walking, but you still have to spend the same amount of time doing the cutscene and everything. Yep. Yeah, the secret garden having 2 of the levers is wild. And just like that, 3 of the doors are open. Reasonable chance of making it there, but I don't know what my chances are of drawing the throne room given my the deck weights that I have applied. Admittedly. I would like a shovel, please. Okay. Oh, bad start for my new lockpicking skill. First attempt failed. I don't need nurse's station. Commissary would be okay, but I lose 2 tiles, but the commissary would be nice. And if we're being honest, with my fucked up deck, I don't think I'm going to draw that many linear hallways in a row. I don't think I have that good of a chance. Sledgehammer! It's fine. It's fine. Let's get some gems, I guess. I would have liked the shovel, but I can use the sledgehammer all the way back at the entrance, I guess, because I think I spawned some chests back there. Limited usefulness otherwise. On the other hand, a lot of dig spots I could be digging right now if someone gave me a shovel. As I cautiously look around this area to make sure I'm not embarrassing myself again. Because there could just be a shovel anywhere in here and I would have been like, oh, that just fits. Like, I don't question the garden hose because it's in the garden. So similarly, when the shovel's here, it's like, yeah, that's where it goes. Yes, the courtyard. Oh my god. Every time I get a branching path, I'm just like, oh, yes, you, I'm picking you. We need you. Ah, immediately rewarded for having a sledgehammer. I do feel like getting a sledgehammer spawns more trunks. A lot of game design is about having just good game feel and making players feel a bit rewarded. So I think that in a way it's similar to like how Resident Evil adapts how much ammo is dropping to make it more rare when you have a lot of it and more common when you're running out of it, to make it more likely that it'll make you more likely to be running out of ammo and never overflowing with resources, or that's the goal. It's like make the difficulty feel relevant to your experience, essentially. Conservatory. So similar way, like it would feel bad if you got a tool and never used it. So just like how the metal detector seems to spawn loot here and there, it also kind of feels like the sledgehammer and the shovel might make the things that they're used on a little more common. There's so many dig spots, I'm not gonna be able to remember them all. The showroom. Okay, yeah, you should be more common than that. Make you standard for how useful you can be. The servants' quarters. It's a good source of keys. It is good to make it spawn a little more late, just because you want to spawn after all the other bedrooms, hopefully. Let's leave it at unusual. It is better for it to hopefully draw late so that you can spawn the keys. Because if you draw it too early, that's not helpful. That said, if it's less common, then you'd be like, oh god, it drew. I have to place it right now or I won't get to use it. I'm also so I want to make it a little more common, maybe, because I don't want to have to worry about passing it up and then not getting it again. But I don't want to make it more common because I'm worried that I'm making too many dead ends common. Because there are a lot of useful dead ends, so it's tempting to make them more common. And that can get you in trouble. Hallway doors are always unlocked. It's not a bad one to get to draw sooner in your run, obviously. The foyer. Not a massively impactful one, but I did make the showroom not rare anymore, so it'll be more likely to be able to buy those, and I might have more chances to actually buy the is my conservatory in my notes? Yes. I might be able to buy the trophy at some point. Which, if nothing else, I will then have said that I'd be able to say that I got it, I guess. Let's see. Dining room's good. Get me my steps. Connect to the antechamber. Which means I now have the crown. Which means I can use the crown the rest of this run. It's funny how getting to the room 46 is just such an incidental, minor accomplishment at this point. Ah! I envy people who speak more easily than me. It always feels like the act of speaking for like the first hour will continuously kind of like knock things loose and make me have to like clear my throat constantly. Hello. I guess I'll get the basement key regardless because I can trade it at the trading post. I didn't get the trading post, I had the shelter. So I'm still immune to 2 more red rooms. Shockingly few of them so far. Unfortunately, I think the lavatory would waste it. I think the lavatory counts even though it's a red room that doesn't do anything. At least I don't think it does anything, as far as I know. If it has a hidden effect. Room for... What would happen if I rested in this room with the monk power? Let's see. Remove a red room from the today's draft pool. That would be helpful for my current messed up deck, honestly. I wonder what would happen if I drew this room as if I slept in here, and then could I draw this as the monk room outside? That would let me start the run with the crown, I guess. I don't know if it would have other value. What happens if you draw the antechamber as the monk room? What would that even accomplish? It couldn't be connected to any of these rooms. Was there a... Oh. Jones, Sinclair with the holly, Epson, Marigold. That was your daughter, right? That's her crest, and then her statue's missing symbolically. Not your daughter, your sister? Was he her uncle or my uncle? I guess technically both, because isn't uncle an annoying one of those terms where you still call them the same thing regardless of like the height in your family tree. Never open the southern door, otherwise the antechamber actually would have been a really handy chance to open up my layout. So the dining room and dark room both point to the same door, unfortunately, but I can go this way. And maybe I'll get a chance to open the southern door even at some point. Where's the page about that? Southern door is greenhouse and weight room. Basement key, that doesn't do anything. So I might be able to... Gymnasium's not that helpful, but it does open things up. I don't want to remove it from today's pool because we're doing fine on steps. I just wish I could choose not to use my shelter on it. I'll hopefully get to use today's shelter on the weight room, which is the worst remaining... Well, no. The weight room probably is the worst one remaining, but... No, because yeah, the one that makes you not be able to see what you're drawing for the rest of the run is probably the worst one. It just feels bad to waste it on this, but I'm having trouble making a layout that lets me keep playing, so the fact that I drew a 3-way branching path here at all is good news. Okay, I really need to draw security. For that matter, I need security and the fuse box or the key card. Here, I double check and I panic once again that I don't already have the key card because that's happened before. And I don't have the trading post, so I can't go back outside and get the key card that way. Yeah, so I can't turn the basement key into something else either. The way that it fucks with me that when earlier in the run I saw the the passageway. That's great news. So it's funny that just like seeing a choice earlier in the run will linger with me, and for the rest of the run I will kind of think that thing exists now. Even though it was one of multiple choices. So sometimes I'll just be wrong about what my outside room is because I remember thinking about it really hard. But then I didn't get to keep it. This is a really late time to draw the laboratory. We do have a southern path over there. Let's remove the furnace from the draft pool, first of all. Yeah. Music room. Oh, music room for keys, actually. I'm out of keys. Yeah, that's good. I have no keys and plenty of gems. Prism key. I wish I could change some of my upgrade choices I've made, because yeah, I was thinking about the room category things. Having a bedroom closet's pretty bad. When you look at the pool of bedrooms, so many of the bedrooms are dead ends. So it's actually really hard to draw the closet from a bedroom because the bedrooms don't tend to work that way. Maid's chamber is trash. Servant's quarter is tempting because I'd get a handful of keys, which I might need to even continue the run. But it's tempting to remove the maid's chamber because it's a free reroll. And then the maid's chamber's gone. But I'll have the crown still, so I can just do this later when I draw it again. Meanwhile, this will give me 4 keys, and I kind of need that. Or the locksmith will give me more keys. Also. I don't have a lot of money right now, so I'm not as likely to be able to fully embrace the locksmith as I might be able to after I draw a treasure hoard of some kind. Five keys. I even miscounted. Oh, because of the aquarium, right? Yeah, the aquarium is the 5th bedroom. The aquarium is so powerful. It's easy to see it as like the most appealing room in a lot of ways, even though it's in itself is blank, and that's the trap. That's the trap that you fall into for fun when you let the game, you follow the rabbit hole of the experiment and be like, let's have a crazy, let's do a prism key for another hallway here. Vestibule, I think, because the Great Hall, I'll run out of keys from that one. Having like 1 to 3 aquariums is comically powerful for your run and affects so much of what's going to happen that run, but they specifically and intentionally give you the trap of letting you be like, yeah, flood your deck with aquariums, lol. And then you get to experience what it's like to have too many aquariums. And it's very bad to have too many aquariums. There's more keys. Admittedly, I'm running out of needs for them now. We are really far from the entrance, so it wouldn't hurt to have a front door access here. But also, I might not be able to open it ever. More keys. Yeah, the power's off. I don't have a shovel still. That feels really weird this deep into the run. But I also don't even have security yet. In fact, I have no computer rooms yet. And that sucks, because one of the ones I want to spawn is the office. So I can do the thing. So hopefully I spawn the office. Does the garage have a chess piece? I don't think I've ever written one down. That panel looks suspicious, doesn't it? No? I have the sledgehammer, right? Yeah. Well, it's not the super sledge, so maybe it doesn't count. I don't see a chess piece. Maybe I missed one. Or maybe it's Swan Song. Maybe it's like on the car somewhere? In the car? No, don't think so. But yeah, it's very amusing that the game calls out how useful the aquarium is by letting you have a science experiment that spams your deck with aquariums, and then you get so lousy with aquariums you can't even fucking move. Let's do the rotunda. I want the utility closet, but this is a chance to actually access the rest of the layout of the remaining building. It is funny to just be spawning all these open paths now, this late in the run, but I have effectively... Yeah, I'm good now. There's only one remaining room that I'm not guaranteed to have access to, which is down here. Besides the ones I already lost forever. There's doorways connecting to here, 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 and here already. So this is good. Now I don't care about branching paths at all, except maybe this one spot letting me turn left. Because I can get her ladyship. But I don't need her ladyship, because I already have the study, so fuck it. Okay. Awkward placement of the office because it turns right, but the office is my goal. I will feel accomplished if I genuinely get to do 2 chess days back to back. That would be some of the good RNG. Did you spread gold in the estate? No. Run payroll. Run payroll now. There we go. Spread gold in the estate. Does that work also? It does work also. Is there less because I put money in the place? Yeah, today's a good day for payroll. I didn't place the maid place because I hate that room, but I did place the one with the keys, and that one gets payroll. But yeah, I guess that's the biggest incentive to place the maid room is that if you run payroll that day, then you're like, oh, damn, I can go to both those places now. Remote terminal access. Normally, I almost always use this for lab because I want lab to run an experiment, but we're really late in the run, so I won't get a lot of chance to use it unless it's the open your map over and over again one, which might pay off, but I don't know what I'd use it for specifically. In this one's case, we want security because I still need to be able to set security so that if I turn the power off, I can open doors. Because the current problem we're facing is that we're running out of building. And, let's see here. Security level low. It's a little late for that, though. Offload mode unlocked. There we go. The hope is that if I draw the breaker room, I can open the remaining doors that way, because there's a number of security doors that have spawned, and I don't know which doors they are right now. We kind of went in a circle around that L shape of empty rooms that we haven't drafted yet. I might have spawned enough directions that we might be able to go around every security door, but I might not be able to, in which case it would be helpful to have the breaker room. State inventory. We have 10 fruit, 28 coins, and 4 trunks. Alright. No mention of like a shovel or anything, so at least that's not going on. The trunks are all the way out in the front. I have to go all the way back there, but I can go through the garage if I use the breaker room. What was I gonna do here? Right, I just needed the king, so I just need to spawn this room. I was like, hang on a minute, did I forget to pull a lever? I'm like, wait, no, there's no lever in this room. Okay, so maybe before we proceed, let's checklist my stuff. Office is a king, study is a queen, bishop. We just had a bishop, right? I pointed it out. But where was that? Oh, there's one in the attic. That was a while ago, actually. But yeah. Need a rook. There's one in the nook. I think I placed the nook earlier on. Yep. So then we need a knight in the observatory. Doesn't have a knight in the observatory. All right. And there should be a lot of pawns, but just to be sure. Oh yeah, there's a pawn in the den, and there's basically always 2 dens in every run I do. So we're pretty set there, right? There's a den there. Yep, there's the 2 dens, like always. So we should have every chess piece, so if I go back to the entrance, I can then do a chess puzzle, and hopefully that does something, or I just spent 2 days on a dead end. Rotate you. I can get more room at the servants' court. More room. I can get more gold at the servants' quarters, so if I can draw the showroom, I could potentially buy something there. Or the vault. Parlor. I don't need gems right now. I guess I can do a vault. Spare key. It's awkward that the vault doesn't get worth more over time, because the other room gets stronger every day. Alright, well now we're up to 72 gold. So now we feel a little silly for talking about having not that much gold earlier. But admittedly, that was me spawning the servants' quarters instead of the locksmith. And I'm running out of uses for a special key. And the servants' quarter has also become one of the places where I can get money as a result. So every time I walk in and out of here, a different room. It's always one room that's locked, right? So I can avoid spinning a key if I just come back. Is this... Okay, it's not a security door. I might as well go back and get the money now since I'm right here. Chibba-dibba-dibba-dibba. 10 gold for payroll is not amazing. Oh, that was the payroll. Right, it was the stuff that was right there. But the money from the spread also happened. And I still have the coin purse, so I'm up to 90 now. Which is a good amount of gold, although if I draw the showroom, I still shouldn't be able to do that much with it necessarily. At least I'm not going to be able to reach the trophy at the end. Hello, showroom. As have to call me out. Dormitory won't do much. Bunk room doesn't really matter at this point. I don't think I'm going to be able to get the throne room at this rate. Master key. All normal doors. That still means not... that still means not the security doors. I don't have a lot of re-rolling left. Silver spoon is not likely to matter. We'll get the moon pendant, because that's always good. And silver spoon's fine. If I'm gonna get the golden... If I'm gonna get the trophy, I'm gonna have to come back anyway, so I might as well just let it sit. But to be clear, remaining cost is... That's 110, and then the trophy's 100 more, so I need 210 gold if I want to be able to cash out the big thing, and that's probably not happening this run. Yeah, moon pendant is always a bonus. It's a bit of a money sink, but it's like, at least one of these items will still be around. They keep giving me the key card when I already had the key card. That's disappointing, but I don't even have the key card this time. For all I know, I'll start next run with the crown, which would be pretty rad. Okay, I feel like this lockpick has not been paying off much for how upgraded it's supposed to be. The freezer. How am I doing on items? I have the metal detector and the magnifying glass. So no, I can't. Yes, I can. The workshop's down there. So I could thaw the freezer to... Why would I do that? There's no furnace. I need the furnace, I think, to undo the freezing of my resources part. And I don't think that... I already have thawed the individual things in the freezer to unlock their... to learn their secrets. So we don't really need that. I don't really have a thing I'm trying to power with the boiler room. Nurse's station, I'm doing fine on steps, so it's not even going to come in play. The trove means money. Not enough money to do the showroom in its entirety, but it does mean some money. Not that exciting. I think I'm just going to keep redrawing with the hope of getting the throne room. Okay. So here I am, and I have the crown. Do I click on you, or... This is a bad sign. And that's the part of the antechamber that's still closed. This is a bad sign for my... yeah, it just says reclaim the crown. It is a black room, which is interesting. That's just a different category. Even... Is the aquarium... Okay, the aquarium also has a black part. So black is a category. It's not just uniquely the throne room, because even the aquarium has a black wall. Don't know what black means, though. Normally, if you have a key item and you walk into a room where it does something... Yeah, the throne room is obviously a king. Yeah, I have that written down. Okay. Normally, you walk into a room like this and it'll be like, whoa! It'll swoop in on the side of your screen and then you can press E. But I'm not getting any kind of prompt. Because normally the thing described on the room means that the room does that. But this throne room does not seem to teleport either of the two crowns to it. So it doesn't seem to, the room does not seem to reclaim the crown for you from the security room or room 46. But it seems like if I bring the crown here, it also doesn't do anything. It could be the wrong crown, though. Okay, this is the crown of blueprints. It's blue. And that is the red crown, the spiky one. So maybe I need to reclaim the crown from the security room and bring it here. Maybe. Let's see. What's my to-do list here? Take crown to throne room. That's still in play, but only if I can spawn that specific room in that specific location. If either of those doors are not security doors, I'll give it a go. Chess puzzle, we're doing that on the way out. Planetarium telescope, I didn't draw a telescope, so we're not going to see if that does anything this run. Just got to keep it on my to-do list forever. Bedroom hand pointing down, yeah, that's just going to have to wait for me to get a treasure. In the future runs, I'll have to think about if I draw a treasure map, try to keep track of which tile it's on, build into that direction very carefully and don't forget. And then when I get there, try to RNG into a bedroom, which sounds like a nightmarish long-term goal. So I guess it's a good thing I've got it like stacked up for now for later. So right now I'm trying to draw the other throne, the other crown room, and see if I can make anything happen between these two rooms. And then if that doesn't amount to anything, or I don't draw it at all, I guess I'll just go do the chess puzzle. My original goal. I'm glad I had a bunch of things to think about in the meantime, though, and I wasn't just stuck. Don't really want these things, but the lavatory gives me a chance to remove it for free, get a new gem, and also get a reroll without having to spend a reroll. The mailroom is tempting because it'll affect the next run and get one item out of the pool, too. But I have a goal, and I'm working towards it. The maid's chamber. It doesn't work on a reroll, so I don't get to get rid of that one. They were trying to draw the security room. Can I look at my... I can't look at my thing. Fuck. I don't remember what it's called. Damn, I can't even look it up. I was like, what's its gem cost? If its gem cost is bad, then I might not be able... When I get below a few gems, I might not be able to draw it anyway. But there's so many remaining rooms in the deck that it's very unlikely to draw what I'm looking for. Coat check. I genuinely think that, it's reasonable to get to room 46 to the point where it might genuinely be harder to get the crown of blueprints from a coat check than from the final room. Unless you make a coat check extremely common. Did I make the coat check more common yet? I obviously would want to, because it's useful if it actually works, and it frequently doesn't actually work. It'd be nice to put the silver spoon in there. Then you could have a ton of steps. Blah. Let's do the coat check. I don't remember what the cost is of the security room, and I might not be able to even afford it soon. Whereas if I check the silver spoon, it's probably easier to get from the coat check than it is to get it from the store. And it also might lead to a situation where the store has a bunch of even cooler items because it can't spawn the silver spoon. And then I can also get the silver spoon and just have a really overpowered run, which could be fun. Okay, so this run's dead. Looking at my mental stack list here. I think the only thing left to do is to run all the way out the front door and go do the chess puzzle downstairs, which I should be fully equipped to do at this point. I devastatingly never got a shovel this run, which is nostalgic at this point. Remember all those runs? Remember me yelling shovel a lot? Ha ha ha. Funny meme. Everyone loves my shovel meme. That's part of my personality now. Oopsie, this is a dead end. I just wasted a step. What was this layout like? We'll check the workshop just to see if I can find what I've never built yet. Hello, Apple. That's just a better lockpick. I think I remember that one. Moon pendant. A little detector. That's a torch. Oh, it's coin person rabbit's foot. Yeah, I remember. Yep. Don't think I need to build a torch. That is currently whatevs. Straight line back to the beginning? Okay. Ooh, banana. Yeah, the secret garden is just such a nice room. It spreads food throughout your house to make the run healthier. While also just being a really helpful room shape for my purposes. Freaking 4 lockboxes, damn. I don't remember generating this many of them. Did I trigger the same constellation twice? Oh my god, this room has a lot of stuff in it right now. Probably all useless at this point, but, you know, the thought that counts. Alrighty, let's go solve the chess puzzle. Let's go solve the chess puzzle. RIP my one day of having access to the king buff. Well, I think... Did I have it yesterday and then forgot to use it? No, I think I unlocked it yesterday, right? I think this is 2 back-to-back runs. How many stars do I have? 37. We're still pretty far from having the reroll mechanic. So if assuming this works out, I'm pretty pleased that I was able to solve the chess puzzle again immediately without having access to the reroll mechanic that I abused so much to do it the first time. And by first time, I mean last time. The first time was ages ago. You can't look at... I really wish you could look at your fucking map when you were in there without having to get back out. That's just irritating. Throne room is right beneath the antechamber. Study is to the right of here. Thank God you don't have to castle on this chessboard, which is what I was worried about when I thought about the word castle. I'm like, uh-oh. There's a rook in the nook, and the nook is somewhere. Four on the left. God damn it, I keep... I don't know how I keep mixing up rook and bishop like that. There should be like an attic like around here. Can I just fucking find it? There it is. Ta-da! Haha, I'm so smart. I remember, I had that memorized. Night locations. The observatory. It's right at the beginning here. There we go. I'm like, just put the pawn anywhere. So many of these locations will be pawn locations. Okay, so... I had the king, and now I want the rook. Please do a thing. You may draw floor plans up to 4 times when drafting the 4 corner rooms of your house. That's not bad. Now that we know that the conservatory exists, which I don't think we did back then, we now know that it helps you draw the conservatory. And might draw other things more consistently too. You may give up this power, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Ooh, it's keeping them both there. That's a good... Yeah. I'm like, that's a good... Are they switching places? Like castling. Okay. This feels like a bit of an arcane puzzle. I know they're all kind of arcane, but I mean, like, you do have to know how to play chess to even consider this. Or you might Google castle and chess, maybe? If you don't know how to play chess. But like, it's not even just the basics of chess. That's like one of the weird secret rules that doesn't really... When someone just summarizes chess to somebody and maybe even starts playing with them, they usually don't even tell them about castling. What's back here? I expected these to be chess pieces, honestly. Is it looping back into the underground somewhere else? They always have this smeary painting sort of texture. This really does get even the shapes of the rooms, the gazebo-ness of it all gives you this like mist vibe. Oh, it's a grave. An Arindian grave, right? Look at this old man. Look at this sad old man. That's very hard to make out. It's a wall mural. Oh no. Are those all Morajai puzzles? Oh god. Here I thought we were wrapping up the run and I'm about to start a puzzle gauntlet, apparently. If those all have allowance tokens in them, that's gonna be 16 more allowance, which is a wild bonus, but... Whew. Doing 8 of these in a row sounds a little exhausting. Okay, yeah, let's get started. This one must be gray. Nope. Purple? Nope. Black. That's black. Black rotates. White is gray. Ah, okay. Yeah, the pink or purple or whatever, it looks pink here. It rotates neighboring things. Red, green jumps to opposite ends of things. And black rotates the row it's on. We need to get black on all the sides, which mostly involves getting green to bounce around just right. But we go up there, that's a good start. Then it can go diagonally. That's a start. There we go. Or not, Get green out of the way. I feel like if I do this just right, we can rotate these. Oh, there's too many spots. Maybe rotate you guys a little bit, that'll help. There we go. Ah! Okay, I didn't lose my progress. Oh. An Ares court where the king now lays. Okay. Time to take some notes. Oh, right, I still need to do the... Oh, yeah, add that to my to-do list. Security... / grotto screen. Because I never got security this run, right? Sorry, I just encountered my screenshot from earlier, just lingering on my desktop. Or in my... I still had the window open. Let's call this Castelling Clues 01. There we go. An Ares court where the king now lays. We can interpret the clue literally, which I don't know what to do with yet, but also it's a vertical series of words, like the castling word was. So I might have been on the right path when I talked about, like, maybe the next room you get from it will give you context for the castling clue being vertical, because this is vertical now. But it doesn't have the same layout of being 3 letters each as the castle thing was. Which makes me wonder if they're trying to highlight the idea of, like, oh, the leftmost letters will spell a word. But the leftmost letters here are I-A-C-W-T-K-N-L, so that doesn't spell shit. Like castle or anything. Makes me think of Andrew's old poems, though. He did a thing where, like, every day for, like, a year, I think he wrote a poem, and the leftmost letters of all the lines spelled out "send nudes," and he just did that every day for ages. Okay, so black rotates rows, orange becomes the local consensus? Yeah. Okay. And we want... do we always want black on these? Maybe. So I need to turn... yeah. Oh, these are the purpley ones that go down as opposed to the pink ones that rotate. Those are really similar colors. So our goal here is to surround an orange with black pieces. There we go. How do I get the black pieces up there? These only go down, and these only become the local consensus, and black only rotates in circles. Okay, so I did it wrong because I need to get a black piece all the way to the top. So it's the right reflex to try to get them to rotate around that one, but I need to specifically do it in a way where you get up there, yeah. So now there's black on each row. You become black. You become black. There we go. Ah, but we need 2 black on the bottom still. Okay, so... I guess we send this one of them all the way to the top in one go. Yeah, that still works, yeah. There we go. On the sacred hour, that time-worn phrase. Screenshotting all these for later. No, don't save it into my System32 folder. What is wrong with you? Why'd you lose the folder we were just in? Don't make this annoying for me. It's going to create so much work if I have to keep navigating back to the folder I'm trying to save these in. Alright. On the sacred hour, that time-worn phrase. This sounds like lines from the fortune teller, who I haven't heard from much this playthrough overall. That room doesn't come up much. I almost wonder if the room left circulation when it ran out of visions or something. I haven't seen it for a while. Maybe it's just really, really rare. It would be a lot of work to make a lot of cutscenes, obviously. Let's see. This is the rotating one, and that's the go down one. So the rotating one lets me put this one back up. And yeah, that lets me loop a little bit. That's interesting. You let me rotate over here. Now it's all the way up here. Now that one's black. There we go. Will a youth approach with empty eyes? Combine all these at the end to see if they... With empty arms. Did I say empty eyes? We'll combine all these clues at the end to see if they add up to something. Oranges do what? So, okay, so yellow goes up. But are the oranges the ones from a minute ago that just combine the consensus? Am I insane? I just forget. Oh. Yeah, the ones that just become consensus. Okay. Me forgetting the colors immediately 1 second later. So we want to turn the oranges black. We don't want to lose there being too black on the top, because then I can't get them back up there. But how am I going to turn... Let's see. So I can't rotate these rows. So I can't stop the yellows from being beneath the oranges and then plummeting the orange downward, which makes it harder to reach with the black pieces. These black pieces do nothing right now because they're the whole row. It does feel like one of you has to go up there just to make it so I can even try to move one of these around. There, now you're black. Now I can bring one of these down here. I think I can't surround this with black pieces. Wait, yeah, I can just move this row around. There we go. Fool that I was. Without gifts nor gold nor mannered charms. I think the game has already pointed out that mannered is one of those examples of a pun word. I mean, any of them can be, but I'm just saying, like, this is one of the ones that they've used as a pun before. So you could like, do you mean manor as in, and like manners, or manners as in like this building I'm in? Green does hops. Yellow only goes up. But if I do this, then I can send the yellow down. And that lets me move one of these down. Okay, so we want 2 black on top, 2 black on bottom. So, oh, yellow goes up. I goofed it a little bit. That might have just doomed me. Yeah, it kind of doomed it. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Send you down there. Bring yellow here, hop across. Yellow goes up. Then rotate. Send green back down before I accidentally mess that up again. Send you back. Two of these on the bottom. That's a good start. That's a good sign. Send green back down. We generally want yellow to be in the corner, I think. I may have already goofed it. Let's send you down. Oh yeah, that's fine, because then I can then I can switch with you. The black key is lying with the last king of 8. The black key. There's a black key and 8 kings. There's always 8. Have we talked about there being 8 kings? The last king of 8. That might just be you, actually, in that grave. 8 kings. If I go through the history book, it probably makes sense, the idea that there's 8 kings. Even if it's not called out numerically, that's probably like a whole thing. So these are the ones that go down, right? And these ones hop around, and these ones become the neighboring consensus. So I'm trying to turn more of these to be black, because I need 4 black, because these are all Arindian. Yeah, the fact that at the beginning of the playthrough you guess what the color is by just poking at it and seeing which one reacts. And I still kind of do that, but we are at the stage now that since I did solve those 8 doors, I hypothetically remember all of the colors. Not always, but... Let's see here. Because these always go down. I rotate you, we can hop back around, but that's not a lot right now. These only go down. But I can't. Ideally, you move those over there, because then you can shuffle the whole thing up, because they drop. But I can't rotate this row without a black piece being up there. Maybe you turn this one purple. That's probably where this is going, because yeah, there's still 2 more to turn black. And this purple one is in a position where you can shuffle it. I can do this, now there's a black piece up here, and now all bets are off. We can go crazy. Ta-da! Yep, now there's a black piece down here, so this rotates. I guess I need you to go up there, because then you can bring the black upstairs, then I can switch that with you. There we go. A patient figure, a reckoning. Great. I can appreciate that at first glance these look like they're going to be my least favorite thing ever, sliding tile puzzles, but they're actually like kind of rad. Because the rule set doesn't allow for the level of insane, like, oh yeah, just there's 500 million billion ways of doing this, like a Rubik's Cube, and then you just like feel like you're never going to be able to leave this room because they're the worst puzzle ever just happened at you. It's like actually kind of, they're actually like neat in their restraint. Guess bring one of these down. Then you back up, and now both these can rotate. So we can do something like this to send it back up again. Ta-da! A sullen cross as 5 stars align. Okay, that's probably the Southern Cross. It keeps going back to the System 32 folder. That's not where I want to save my notes. You alright, From View? Are you crazy? Yeah, 5 stars align. There's a middle star in the Southern Cross constellation in this game. So that's 5. One last one. No allowance from this, unfortunately. Send you up there. No. Oh, it's a rotating one. Whoops. Kill me. Okay, this one could be a little awkward. There we go. There we go. Eh? Yeah, I need to get the one in the middle. Which actually shouldn't be that hard. Just rotate these. Just for... Oh. There we go. And in the sky above, a brilliant sign. It's amazing how you just never know how this game's what's gonna throw at you next. Just like in space, I guess, because like admittedly this is like some cryptic clues and some it's some cryptic clues and some more Morajai boxes, so it's not like a ground-breaking moment exactly. It's just a moment of like, oh, you don't expect to find a whole ass room with a whole ass puzzle gauntlet. It's always surprising whenever you encounter new space in this game, because like it is a game about building your own castle over and over again. But outside of the mansion part of the game, at the beginning, it feels like your surroundings are very restrained. It's like, okay, you're in this one there's this one courtyard outside, and it's like you're like, ooh, I opened the little gate and walked over to that part of the lawn. Woo! It just doesn't feel like that big of a deal at first. But then you like take the elevator, the Four Torches elevator down outside, or you go down through the foundation, and like there's things that like make you go like, wait a minute. How much crazy space is there conjoining all this? Because like I saw the weird openings in the cliff face before, At the very beginning of the game, basically. I saw the weird openings in the cliff face, but they were undetailed enough and distant enough that you could reasonably think that even though it looks a little distinct, it might not be a part of any kind of playable game area. And that makes you wonder. But then you end up going there like, oh shit. And then it's not just a small hint, it's like, oh, here's the giant underground area that's actually a lot of space. Okay, so I should probably spend some time reviewing these clues, because it might be possible to solve it here. I also wonder if you're supposed to bring the sledgehammer here and destroy this mural and just continue in this direction or something. Let's see, so the clues we got said, in Ares' court where the king now lays, on the sacred hour, that time-worn phrase, will a youth approach with empty arms, without gifts nor gold nor mannered charms? The black key is lying with the last king of 8, a patient figure, a reckoning great, a sullen cross as 5 stars align, and in the sky above, a brilliant sign. Okay, it rhymed. That's interesting. It's interesting because I was about to call out the fact that if you look at this room, statue, blank, statue, 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 blank, statue, statue, statue. And it's not clear what, it's not inherently clear what order to read them in. And the blanks made me wonder if maybe there's an entire missing part of the clue, and we have to figure it out with 2 pieces missing. Also, that brick is clipping through that brick, and it's also clipping through there. Clipping! But it rhymes in its current configuration, which makes me think that that and that are paired, and that and that are paired, that and that are paired, and that and that are paired, and that part just is true. I definitely want to hang out for a bit and think about these clues for a bit longer before I leave, even though I don't really have ideas yet. I don't want to leave this room. And a superpower that I employ frequently in this playthrough is that I can just stop and take a break in a room like this and just kind of hang out for a while and see if I can, like, come up with anything. That's part of why it probably seems like I make more progress than people usually do. It's me just being like, I'm in a run, I'm doing an episode, I made it here, I don't want to leave? So I'll just be like, let's just hang out here for a while and to see if I can come up with anything to do. Instead of being like, no, I'm recording right now, and being like, dang, I didn't come up with anything right now, I guess I'll leave and come up with something later, which I've done that too. But I can just stop the episode, and that is a power I have. There's no interaction here. Ares. I could compare it to the manuscripts we got recently, but I don't know if there's much overlap in the language there. I would like to see if I can make a breakthrough about if there's anything to do in this room before I leave. And we're back in display capture. Okay. First of all, going back into my folder here, this is interesting. So this is the note I found a minute ago. And then this is the note I found some time ago. So that's the same, it's actually literally the same drawing, which is interesting, which implies that it was printed out over and over again. This one has a circle here, and then it's all crossed out. This one has an A here, which is weirder, and then it says delete it, exclamation point. They both have indicators that are like, fuck this note, or something, or fuck this TV? I don't know. A, circle. 0, O, scratch it out, circle, other kinds of variations. There's a lot of interpretations of that particular shape. They could be letters, spelling out a password. We don't have 8 this time. We currently have, there's 11 screens. I do kind of wonder, like, are there 3 bad screens? That'd be interesting. If there's 3 bad screens, then if you destroyed those ones, then you'd be down to there being 8 screens, and this game loves 8. But yeah, I just want to point out that there is a second note that I've had in here that connects to the same thing. So that's interesting, but let's get back to the castle. I took all these things and I compiled them into one mega thing. I'm really good at speaking and talking and things. Let's see what I can do here. A Sullen Cross as 5 stars alliance. That's like the Southern Cross at Observatory. Not the best note-taking methods ever. Oh my god, this stupid screen. Okay. We updated from GIMP 2.0 to 3.0, and there are some fun quirks to how it works that are very annoying. And a lot of things that are way better. Like, one of the things I like is that usually my drop shadow can now be applied to... No. Okay, sometimes I can do a drop shadow, and then I can edit the text after the drop shadow, which is nice. And the drop shadow stays on, which is the whole appeal of it. But sometimes it doesn't work, and I can't tell the difference between why. So that's annoying. Whatever, no drop shadow then. So Southern Cross at Observatory. A Sullen Cross at 5 stars a line, and in Sky Above, a Brilliant Sign. I wonder if these are backwards. And in Sky Above, a Brilliant Sign, a Sullen Cross as 5 stars a line. That does make sense. Does make more sense. So then these two are probably reversed too then also. A Patient Figure, a Reckoning Great. The Black Key is lying with the last King of 8. Orindian grave among Mora Jai puzzles after castle clue. Just over explaining this one a little bit for my future me, I guess. I'm trying to like see if I can pair each one, the ones that rhyme, into having individual meanings. In Ares Court, where the king now lays, on the sacred hour, that time-worn phrase. Sacred hour. This is interesting. Do I have a system that can make sense here? Okay. Just like, how do I effectively rearrange these in a good way? I want to move these over and these over here. I feel like there's a better reading order available here, because this is referring to the king down here, so it might be referring to like how to open up the thing down here. Will a youth approach with empty arms, without gifts nor gold nor mannered charms? So I think it means that I need to go somewhere, because I'm the youth, with just no loot, no gold, no charms, no gifts. So I need to have an empty inventory. This does have this is interesting because, like, you can not have gold. There's a few things that can fuck me up, like using the freezer or the pendant, which I have, unfortunately, so I can't really test this right now for my next run, but the fact that your allowance is a thing you pick up manually every day enables you to not have loot even when the allowance exists. And in the sky above, a brilliant sign, a sullen cross as 5 stars a line. So it sounds like they want me to go to the observatory and use the Southern Cross with no items in my inventory. And then it says, in Ares Court, where the king now lays. I don't really know what Ares Court means, but there is a grave right here. This is a mausoleum right here. And given the Arindian thing, it's probably a king's grave, because it has a kingdom emblem on it. A patient figure, a reckoning great. The black key is lying with the last king of 8. So, time is ambiguous. Sometimes we input a time via manually done clocks. Sometimes clocks in this game are functionally combination locks. And sometimes clocks in this game are based on time. It sounds like I need to start a run, not have any items in my inventory, spawn the observatory, and then pick the Southern Cross. Sorry, I stunlocked myself for a moment there thinking about, I was thinking about something else. Doesn't the observatory cost a gem to place? Is the idea that I can have a gem in the run, but I need to spawn the Southern Cross when nothing's in my inventory? So I can pick up one gem so that I can spawn the room? It's probably going to be a bit of a trash run where I just try to like brute force this playing out, but yeah, I'd want to spawn the observatory, try to get the Southern Cross, and then maybe check down here? Maybe I have to be here at the Sacred Hour, or I have to input what the Sacred Hour is. I don't think I know what the Sacred Hour is. I think we had a reference to the Sacred Hour in like the new... Oh, I haven't documented the books yet. I need to go document the new books we got last episode. Because I thought they mentioned the Sacred Hour, or was it in the Will and Testament? Let's see. Oh, wait. It was in here, wasn't it? Because somebody's getting a clock. Yes. Late cousin Tillin's 2 children, Courtney Farron and Rygard Farron, who have sometimes been impulsive and hasty in their actions, I grant to each a cuckoo clock set eternally on the Sacred Hour. For only time will tell when they are ready to slow down enough to appreciate the gifts bestowed upon them with the patience and wisdom that comes with maturity. Let's see, let's write some notes about this thing. So, empty hands, Southern Cross, Sacred Hour, cuckoo clock? There we go. So I think I need to find out what the Sacred Hour is, which I'll probably have time to do as I try to cause this these conditions to happen in the first place, because I need to spawn in with no items, then generate the Southern Cross, which only happens on some days, and I don't know which days, but I should start writing down which days when I encounter it again, because apparently we need to know what days the Southern Cross is available on. That's interesting and a nightmare chaotic thing, but we'll see how it goes. I don't know who Courtney and Rygard are. I assume that the results of this will have not played out yet, because I'm still doing it. So I assume the cuckoo clock is somewhere in the mansion, so I need to look around for a cuckoo clock, which is just a detail that I've probably technically seen before, but didn't know that I needed to care that I was seeing it. Let's go ahead and just export this compiled thing. Oh yeah, did you... I leave some characters at the beginning because if I delete all the text and then start over it typing, it'll lose the formatting and it'll be really small and annoying. So I'll intentionally start typing in the middle of an existing word, type out what I'm writing, then delete the weird leftover characters. GIMP is not always amazing for my purposes, but it is free, and I've been using it for my thumbnails the entire time I've been doing YouTube. So I'm mostly used to it, but I do not know why the drop shadow works perfectly in 3.0 finally, after not supporting the idea of having a drop shadow where you can edit the text when the drop shadow is active, but then it also just doesn't work sometimes, and be like, you want to edit the layer and reset it? And I'm like, no, keep the drop shadow. Why doesn't it stay? It stays at other time. I don't understand. So that confuses me, but I'll eventually be frustrated enough to Google it, I'm sure. Okay, so I have something workable. Oh yeah, we should, no, I made more breakthroughs, so let's include that too. I need to keep in mind that the cuckoo clock is where the sacred hour is. Put it by the sacred hour part. There we go. I think I more or less pieced together what the poem is going for. So keep items out of my inventory, spawn a Southern Cross, then either arrive by the time of this cuckoo clock and then wait until that time, or input it somewhere. But they say where the king now lays, so everything about here talks about where a dead king is, so I think I need to come to this room either way. And we'll see if there is like a new thing I can do in this room at that point, or if I just need to sit here and wait for a while. Which I could do without learning what the time of the cuckoo clock is, but we don't know. Given that time does move relatively slowly in this game, it would be torture to wait for that in real time, so probably not that. But this is probably the Dead King's Chamber. Let's see, bring up my notepad document again. Is there anything I want to do still? Metal detector. So I do have the moon pendant, so I'm not going to be trying this thing next run because I don't think I can get rid of the moon pendant. Which means I can't have an empty inventory next run, which kind of sucks. Unless... Where is the coat check? It's all the way up there. I can make it there. A little bit of pain in the ass, but who cares? Yeah, I think I want to go to the coat check, and then I want to coat check the moon pendant. Which is not an amazing use of these resources, but it does mean that the moon pendant will not be fucking with my inventory next run. And I guess that's worth it, because I always want to be working towards a goal, and this is the current thing I think I figured out and I want to work on. So let's go get rid of the moon pendant so that I don't have to kill a run hunting other stuff and not pursuing this. Also, let's take a look at that security note in the grotto, since I'm going to be right here anyway, and I have 63 spends that 63 steps that I have no use for right now. All right. I'm feeling kind of accomplished. I'm really happy that the chest thing was the right call. That was a multi-run investment, but I'm about to start another multi-run investment if I'm about to be trying to do this this other thing. Yeah, this is suspicious now. Let's get over that page. Alright, so the one in Blackbridge is I or 0, then an empty space, then another I, and then another 0. Sorry, not I or 0, I or 1. I guess it's not a 1. It could be, well, it could be a Roman numeral 1, yeah. Alright, so I have I have 3 of these weird notes now. God damn it. I have 3 of these weird notes now. Don't know what they mean. Can they piece together into like a shape? I don't think there's enough to go on yet for that. It would be interesting to try to unpack if like you can slot them all together like puzzle pieces and they spell out a message. But none of the ones I have right now look like they particularly would fit together. So it's hard to say there. So we're going to go all the way up to the coat check. Which means going left over here. The good news is I have 2 observatories, so I have 2 chances to spawn the Southern Cross every day. Also want this to happen at some point. Banana. I have no use for all these steps, but they are here. I have 2 chances to try to spawn the Southern Cross every day, but I do feel like the observatory does cost a gem, doesn't it? Check item. Moon pendant. There we go. So next run I won't be stuck with items. And, I don't know. I could just grab the moon pendant next time I spawn a coat check and be like, cool, I have it. It's fun. Let's look at the directory. Looking for the observatory. Observatory. Cost 1 gem, okay. So I guess it costs gems, so it's impossible for me to not pick up anything. So I guess I'll pick up nothing except 1 gem. And then I'll just go around very inefficiently picking up 1 gem at a time, trying to spawn the observatory. And then it'll work or it won't work. And then we'll just have to... Wait, do I have... I don't think I brought the... No, I didn't do darts today. Right. The planetarium effect only happens if you actually sleep in that room. So might as well go back down there and get 2 more stars. Not really knowing which days the Southern Cross spawns on. You can technically maybe math it because each... I think that the later days are... they take a sum of various lower day counts, and if they add up to that number, then they can be like the list of constellations that are combined for that particular day. But I think there's also multiple ways to land on those numbers, so it's just kind of, I don't really know how to interpret that necessarily. And we're beyond the end of this sheet, so we don't know what happens for the rest. Okay, I have 37. If I sleep here, I'll have 39. That means that tomorrow there will be 7 different constellations observed in a single night. That seems like it's probably got the Southern Cross. So I'm going to sleep right here. We're going to call it a day here. That should be extremely good luck. Like, I'm astonished how lucky I get sometimes, but... This takes me to 39 stars, so tomorrow when I draw the observatory, that should give me my 40th star, which means that there will be 7 constellations, and the Southern Cross is probably one of them, because there's 7. I don't even know how many there are in the game, but it's probably in there, right? So maybe we'll figure out very quickly if this works or not. That'll be fun.